See it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my.
Okay, Coach. Well, we are about a $50 cab ride away from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the New York Jets. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, here we go. 180! I'm trying to collect.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers.
Watch the pass. 11.
On first down, here's Breida. And an alley to run. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
First down, San Francisco.
So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 44-yard line. To throw is Garoppolo. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Albert away and bring up second down.
Hey, Echo.
Garoppolo again here on second and 10. He gets this one to Boyd. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. Got his target, Samuel. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. They're the favorite, no question, and when they score like that on the opening drive to set the tone, you're the underdog on the other bench. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't bring the home crowd into it, because you're counting on that to be a part of your equalizer, ride their momentum. But you have to give them something to cheer for. So now what you're worried about is they're better than we are. We can't get going. Are we about to get blown out?
Good news, still a long way to go. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Brings up second and 10 at the 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10.
And let's pin the mirrors back and
2nd and 10. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The holding penalty negates a good return as they'll start just past the 20.
Hey, alert! 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 Kill! Recon, 132 fighter! Check 13! Check 13! Check! 11. Blue draw forfeits.
He's crashing. He's checking.
21. Here we go.
Throwing on first is Garoppolo. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Robert Quinn able to record his 5th sack of the season. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. He's able to get 4 back on the run, but now they'll have to find something here on 3rd and about 14.
Here we go. 11.
Here we go. Right there.
Bravo.
Right there. 54 miles. You must be getting tired of seeing me.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
Here we go. Lock.
You got tape.
Hey, gun. Hey, get hot.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
36.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Two. Hey, Delta.
Right there. 54 miles.
From the 38, Garoppolo will get this into the hands of Breida. Touchdown, 49ers! Matt Breida with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's got a new one. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet first down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. 15 Lonnie. Wahoo. Mike spot forward.
And watch that. And watch the ball.
On 1st and 10, Love. He's going to air one out for Anderson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Drake.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Love. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowski to punt this one away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 50-yard
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And his pass incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. ooBABAYANoo's got it, complete. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
The Niners take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
21. Hey, wahoo! We ain't giving him nothing. 54 Mike.
Garoppolo going to try and throw on 3rd. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Nick Bosa in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. The Jets on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Now it appears we're going to get whistles and a stop. A man down on the return. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now. They have to feel great about their opportunity.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we mind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. This is Mostert. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down and 4, Garoppolo. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Robert Quinn in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. That last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long.
11.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. Garoppolo on 1st down. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got it.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're
under pressure. They got him again. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Back to throw. Love. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, Love. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hand.
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look close.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Second and 6
Keep playing
at the 32-yard line.
Dave. Whoa. Let's get it. Let's go.
To throw on second down. Love. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Brenton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is fielded at the 7. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. First and 10.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Being chased at, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. Quentin Williams. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. After the sack, they'll come up now, third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, exit.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Eric Armstead, the defensive end, will get credited for the sack. But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Let's go.
2nd and 13. On the catch, it's Crowder. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Niners will take over at the 20.
Here we go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
I got you. 21. Hey, orbit. Check Mike 57.
Now Mostert. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Give them the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
Here we go.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. There's Garoppolo to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11. Garoppolo now. Perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Taking a shot for Samuel. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Screenplay, McKinnon. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's 2nd and 8. Airing one out for Crowder. He's got it at the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Jamison Crowder. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Here we go, here we
The
go, here we go.
49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now, they're just cutting them to shreds.
He takes this from the 30 to the 34. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
13. Hey, high 7.
57's the mic. Watch 57. But we got
Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, making sure his presence is felt.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's going to field this at the 4. He'll be hard-pressed to match that one. That a 65-yard punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage.
A loss of 2 brings up
57's the mic. Mike 57.
at the 14.
Check.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Love over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
No gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Off the play fake. Love. Got an open man. It's a noon one. The 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose one or two.
At the 49ers 17-yard line.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun. Love. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked. Eric Armstead able to record his 5th sack of the season. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun. Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
On 4th down, Love. Now a desperation throw deep. That is caught by Anderson for a Jets touchdown. Robbie Anderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Prater for the extra point. And the lead will be cut down to 14. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Here we go. By 20.
Let's go, dude. Tighten up. Let's go, dude. Tighten up.
Here's Mostert. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. So the victory here for San Francisco. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away.